William skewed his chin. His mother put the timetable back in his handbag and closed it. A wry smile swept her face as she read the name tag, Wendy Dowson, 3C. I might put your hair in plaits tomorrow, she suggested, pushing her fingers through his locks. Please don't, Mum. I thought you might prefer it to bunches. But if you want bunches again, that's fine. I don't want either. William whined. The following morning, Andrew is collected by the school minibus soon after 7:30 a.m. It winds through the residential side streets, collecting various boys, and eventually, it heads towards William's estate. Andrew wondered if William might have absconded again, but as the minibus pulls to a halt outside his house, the front door opens and William sheepishly steps out wearing black Mary Jane-style shoes and burgundy tights, a tartan pinafore dress and a burgundy blazer. His head is hung low and his hair is tied in a pair of French plaits tied with burgundy ribbons in bows on his shoulders. You the kid who tried to nick off yesterday? One of the boys asked as William climbed into the minibus. Yeah. William said as the door slid shut behind him. Who are you? Sandra, the boy replied. It's really Alexander, but, he shrugged. Other boys on the bus were called Stephanie, Stephen, Penelope, Peter, Andrea, Andrew, Carla, Carl, Emily, Lee, Christina, Christopher, Jennifer, Jonathan, Jane, James, Tiffany, Timothy, Michelle, Michael, and Mary, Mark. Several of them claimed to have done much the same as William when they were first sent to St. Felicity's. Jennifer managed 3 days since he'd fled to his father's house in Rutland, whilst Tiffany's attempt lasted a mere 10 minutes. The boys were told to be silent. William peered out of the window. Andrew sat beside him and looked at William's hair, tied in 2 plaits running from behind his fringe to his neck where 2 burgundy ribbons are tied in bows. Did your mum do your hair? Andrew asked. Well, I didn't do it myself. William sarcastically retorted. It's better than my bunches. Andrew frowned. Mum made me wear them all evening, he moaned. She's even moved me into my sister's old room and I've got to wear her old clothes. All the time. Well. For the next 2 weeks. Andrew frowned. That's a bit harsh. William said. Andrew nodded. I had to wear my uniform until my homework was done, but at least I could wear my own clothes after that. William explained. This didn't seem fair to Andrew. He didn't try to skip school like William did, but he's the one who's got to spend the next couple of weeks going to a girls' school, sleeping in a girl's bedroom and wearing nothing but girls' clothes. The minibus pulled into the schoolyard and the boys alighted. They'd been put into separate classes, so went their separate ways after entering the building. Yet again at playtime, Andrew was given a skipping rope and William was sent to play hopscotch. He wasn't quite so bashful today since he actually enjoyed playing the game, not that he'd admit that to many people. Andrew, on the other hand, was still struggling with the skipping rope. He could achieve 3 or 4 consecutive skips, but no more than that. His problem is that no sooner he gets into the rhythm, he can't help but think what he looks like, heels clacking, skirts swishing, and bunches bouncing. Then it all goes to pot. He'd like to try a different playtime activity, but the prefects in charge tell him that he's got to master the skipping rope first. All girls should be able to skip Alice, they tell him, before suggesting he practice at home too. Andrew and William sit opposite one another at lunchtime. Andrew moans about his difficult playground activity and claims that he'd rather play hopscotch than skipping. Hopscotch is okay. William sheepishly confessed. At least there's a bit more to it than just jumping about a bit. I wouldn't know. Andrew frowned. The prefect said I've got to stay with the skipping group till I can do it properly. After eating their lunch, they filter out into the schoolyard where Andrew is sent to skip whilst William plays hopscotch.